everybody go subscribe to Bull Light. You know what I'm saying?
4, they got Bull Light.
Let me ask you a question, Bush.
Made his own decision. It wasn't forced upon him.
That mean he ain't have to leave. They saying he ain't have to leave. It wasn't forced upon him. You know, he rich as hell and powerful, so he wasn't. He probably felt like he wasn't treated well over there. Something happened.
Has come to an end. Welcome to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, coming at you as I love to do every weekday from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over the airwaves of Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. Number to call is according to Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul, as told to Shams Charania of ESPN. So it is over. LeBron James, who's returning for an unprecedented 24th NBA season, informing the Los Angeles Lakers he is not coming back.
That's another thing. Man, boy, kind of old. Is he not getting that OG treatment at the Lakers that he deserved? I don't know. Well, let's go.
And as a result, we have a lot of things to contemplate on today's show. Number one, what does that mean for LeBron's career, for LeBron's legacy? Number two, what does it mean for the Los Angeles Lakers and where they're going to go from here? Those things are relevant. It also means that you have to entertain what LeBron James is going to do next. He turns 42 years of age in December. Saw his record streak of 21 consecutive All-NBA selections end last season after appearing in 60 games. He missed the first month of the season because of sciatica affecting his lower back and his right leg, if you remember that, because I'm here to tell you.
I don't know how to say it. Sciatica. You think it says sciatica. That sounds like some medicine, some medication. Sciatica.
That's the only reason he didn't make an All-NBA team, because otherwise he would have made an All-NBA team with the kind of season he had. Despite the injury, he remained an All-Star, averaging 20 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, shooting 51.5% from the field, relegated to a third option in favor of Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves being.
He said they need him, but they lost, so they need something more than him. Look like Lakers gonna fall to be one of them low-level squads.
Primary targets for the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron did what he does and found a way to be effective, if not great, to be quite honest with you. In the postseason, he was even better. Increased his minutes from 33 to 38 minutes per game, averaged 23, 7, and 6. Helped lead the Lakers to a first-round series playoff victory over the Houston Rockets. While Luka Doncic was sidelined with a hamstring injury, they ultimately were swept by the Oklahoma City Thunder, but we all know that the Oklahoma City Thunder, the reigning defending NBA champions at the time, was a superior team. So there's no shame in that at all. In the end, in L.A., he was a champion. He was an 8-time All-Star. He was first-team All-NBA the 2019-2020 season, made the playoffs 6 of 8 years. He did his job. Say what you want. He did his job.
And I don't know. I guess it's the love of the game because he rich as hell. He could go somewhere and retire, but he want to keep going. Is that going to damage his legacy? I don't know. You feel me? Because if you go out looking crazy,
you know, we want to look at it and want to compare. He doesn't compare to Kobe. He doesn't compare to Shaq and people like that because you know what? Vast majority of his career wasn't spent there. But the bottom line is to come there in the aftermath of Kobe's departure and to do what he did. You understand? He elevated the Lakers to relevancy again and walked away with a chip. And a lot of people are going to look at it and they're going to sit up there and talk about the bubble, the championship in the bubble. I don't want to hear that. You understand? There's a lot to be said about having to go to Orlando in that bubble during COVID-19 pandemic. All right? A once in a century situation that presents itself. And
I don't think my Lakers fan like this at all. I think bro a Lakers fan. Mal Mack, I know you ain't liking this. Y'all ain't got a chance now.
to get his team to be focused and dedicated and committed to being in the bubble, staying in the bubble, and doing what he did. There's a lot to be said for that. And in the end, there's no way around it. 8 All-Star selections and 7 All-NBA selections in 8 seasons. Finished in the top 10 in MVP voting 3 times. This is all while in L.A. during his 8
You a diehard, I already know. Ugly for y'all. I don't think Snoop like this either.
seasons in LA, had 7th best regular season record in the NBA, won 56% of his games, and the 9th most postseason wins. And in 8 seasons with the Lakers overall, he averaged 25.9 points per game on 51% shooting, 36% from 3, 7.7 rebounds, 7.9 assists. And listen, I'm here to tell you right now, if you think that the Lakers are going to be better off without him, you're smoking something.
Who would think something like that, man? Like the dude said, what'd he say? He said, he's still good, but he's not great anymore. He's still good. He's not like a lame player, but the nigga's old, and maybe they violated him. That's why he left the Lakers. Maybe they treated him wrong in LA. He says, fuck y'all, I'm out there now. Watch this. Because you know when you got some fire in you over some bullshit or whatever, if you mad about something, it puts some fire in your ass, pause, he might come back and be great again. I ain't gonna hold you. He might fuck around and take Warriors to that next level. Who knows, man? This is crazy, though.
I believe this is a devastating blow for the Los Angeles Lakers. Because LeBron James, at the age of 41, approaching 42, I will remind y'all, 13 years older than Austin Reeves, 14 years older than Luka Doncic. It was LeBron James who was healthy for the playoffs. It was LeBron James who was there for the entirety of the first round series against the Houston Rockets. It was Austin Reeves who missed a couple of games because obviously he had the oblique injury. It was Luka Doncic who wasn't available for the entire postseason because of his hamstring injury. It was LeBron James whose durability you could rely upon.
Yeah.
If we're going to be honest and fair, it was Austin Reeves who missed a couple of games because obviously he had the oblique injury. It was Luka Doncic who wasn't available for the entire postseason because of his hamstring injury. It was LeBron James whose durability you could rely upon.
Yeah.
If we're going to be honest and fair, let's keep it a buck now. And because of his basketball acumen, his greatness as a basketball player, you found yourself in a situation knowing that if he had all of his horses, who knows what could have happened. Now, do I believe they would have beat Oklahoma City? Hell no. But the fact of the matter is it would have been far more competitive, one would argue, because the man knows how to play. Keep in mind, as he articulated a few months ago,
he's a man.
He had never been anything but a number 1 option his entire life. And this season, he was asked to be a number 3 option and adjusted and did it differently. At times, the man played center. At times, he was your point forward, a la your point guard. At times, he was a 3rd option. At times, he was a 2nd option. At times, he was a number 1 option, depending on the health of other people because they weren't available, but he was. I think this is a devastating loss for the Los Angeles Lakers.
It's definitely not something they should be happy about. Thing is, he left them too. And I think this dude, Stephen A., is a definitely Lakers fan. He hurt too.
And Luka Doncic, as great as he is, and Austin Reeves, as much as he's improved, and the both of them deserving their bag because they do deserve their bag. They can't stop a cold defensively. So you're the Los Angeles Lakers. What are you going to have? And I don't think this is a situation where LeBron James departed from the Los Angeles Lakers just because of money. He understands he's approaching 42 years of age. He understands the cap.
You know what he getting at? He said it ain't about money. You know what he getting at. There was some violation going on, man. It was violating the OG. He don't like it. He said, I ain't with this. Y'all ain't respecting the OGs. You know LeBron James a hip-hop baby, too.
Constraints that come with everything. He understands what it requires. I think the difference is along the way, somehow, some way, for whatever reason, he felt somewhat disrespected. Now, how accurate that is, I'm in no position to say. I can only tell you what I've been told. He felt somewhat disrespected.
And I ain't watched this.
Where there was a lack of appreciation for what he brought to the table. And the quickness with which they transitioned to the Luka era. Although it makes sense because he's a superstar basketball player in the NBA with global iconic appeal, who can give you 35 a night anytime he wants.
Anytime he want.
The fact is that he's a defensive liability. And on top of that, even though LeBron James totally understands it being a Luka era, the quickness with which it transpired and the dismissiveness associated with him because of it can be a turnoff. And it can encourage you to move elsewhere.
Especially if you're rich.
To have your attitude and just take your ball and go someplace else. And Lord help everybody. And I mean everybody.
See, he talking about that fire that LeBron gonna have now. Because once you leave with a little, you know, like I said, it's gonna be extra motivation to crush some shit. Uh-oh. Knicks ain't worried though, but it's all gravy.
If LeBron James joined Steph Curry in Golden State, you see, the Lakers are not just one of the top 2 most storied franchises in basketball annals.
I thought he was, but maybe he not, and that's a rumor. Maybe we don't know what he's doing. Maybe he gonna retire. We don't really know. Or do we? Mal Mac, do we know? Because I don't know nothing, but I thought word was I thought he's going to the Warriors. Am I tripping?
The Lakers are box office. The purple and gold matters. Games at Crypto.com Arena are special. There's a different flair, it's a different flavor. No matter what you see from the clip.
Damn, you a diehard, but you ain't got no damn faith in your squad. You said we're gonna suck for 15 years. Damn. See, they might have a vengeance and something in their heart too, though. You feel me? So they might actually have some fire too when he leave.
Clippers. And I love the Clippers organization. I know a lot of people were there. It's like a high school environment compared to the Los Angeles Lakers. The stars come out for the Lakers.
Who the fuck got control them?
But let me tell you where all of that's going to change. They'll still come out to see Luka. They'll still come out and be Lakers.
Appreciate you, homie. You already know, it's a long road. I'm in college still, you feel me? I'm trying to get the master's degree and deliver y'all the best content we could do. But appreciate you. I hope you still subscribe and appreciate you tapping in. I mean, you one of the OGs and we could do, but appreciate you. I hope you still subscribe and appreciate you tapping in. I mean, you one of the OGs, so you know where all this shit come from. Salute to you, homie. For real.
But I'm here to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, LeBron and Steph Curry together in Golden State, if that happens, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Beatles and the Heatles all over again. The Beatles as in the Beatles music group in the 60s, the Heatles with the Miami Heat with LeBron, D. Wade, Bosh, and the crew when they were in Miami.
Find out what's going on with him. Is he just on the loose as a goose right now? Is he going to Warriors? I gotta look that up. Y'all know I ain't the big sports dude.
This is that. I will remind you that the great Steph Curry, the babyface assassin, the greatest shooter God has ever created, that dude is still a superstar in this game. Steph Curry, 38 years old. He looked 28. I mean, that might be pushing it.
We talking about these dudes, but man, what you say, Mal Matt? Oh, you a Knicks fan now? Fuck out of here. I on the bandwagon. Hey, we looking at Knicks. Everybody looking at the Knicks, man. These dudes are legends, but they don't got the squad to hold them down. Knicks, they got some type of unity, but we ain't gonna go into that. I don't want to piss nobody off.
His conditioning is exceptional. His marksmanship is unparalleled. Oh, by the way, he's a 4-time champion. You're going to have people sitting up there talking about LeBron James' legacy. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Times have changed. In the end, he's a basketball player. And I can't knock LeBron James for wanting to leave the Los Angeles Lakers if indeed you feel Like you were just shoved to the side like you were nobody. If your importance was diminished and flagrantly dissipated just because somebody new arrived in the house.
Who knew? I wish.
If you know what you bring to the table and it's still of star quality, just because another star comes doesn't mean you get to sit up there and wave him off like he was nothing. I'm not saying the Lakers did that. I'm saying, based on all the noise we've been hearing, it was certainly perceived as being that way by LeBron James and his camp.
You've been hearing noise. Why don't you let us know some of that shit you've been hearing then? Let us privy to some of the shit you know, because I know you know some shit. No, this nigga knows something. Oh, he was paused all that time? He wanted to sink in.
And I got to tell you something right now. When you're as great as he has been, you deserve better than that if that is true. I'm going to always give Jeannie Buss the benefit of the doubt. I think she's wonderful. I love that woman. She's been on a guest on this show on a couple of occasions, and she'll be back on soon. But I'm just telling you, if I don't know all the details, but I'm telling you right now, when Rich Paul sits up there and says he just wants to be happy, I believe it ain't just about the money. The man's worth over $1 billion.
Over $1 billion. $1 billion. But, you know, once they get into that money realm, they get greedier and greedier. So it could be about the money. I ain't gonna lie. Mal Max sellout ass about Golden Knicks. You gonna lead the Lakers like that? No, Meso don't like that.
Got a mid-level exception that's available with Draymond Green opting out of his deal that puts the Golden State Warriors in a position to give him $15 million. LeBron knows he's not getting $50 million. He knows the cap constraints of most of the league. Me personally.
So what's a nigga like LeBron getting now? Legend. He older. I don't know what they tried to offer him.
I think his best shot at a championship is going back to Cleveland. That's where I think his best shot at a championship is.
One could take him back to Cleveland.
Argue Miami too with Bam and Giannis and Portis. But they got to build a roster. He go to Cleveland without Cleveland having to give up any of its assets. I think they're the automatic favorites in the Eastern Conference. And that's the one place in the NBA where he's deified. They probably ain't going to hang a statue for LeBron James in Miami.
LeBron don't want to go to no damn Cleveland. He want to stay on that west side. He don't want to go to that. No, he does not want to go there. You got to remember, he rich as hell and famous. Where could he party at in Cleveland?
Wade County, even though LeBron would deserve it. They're certainly not going to hang a statue for LeBron in L.A., even though one could argue he deserves it because if you held a statue for Oscar De La Hoya in boxing, why not LeBron? But Cleveland, he's the closest thing to God in that part of the country. And they would welcome him back with open arms. How about star-studded affair? He's LeBron James. But if that brother decides to stay out west, to leave his family.
Max said, fuck it, I'm going with the winners. Hey, I ain't mad at you. I don't take this shit so serious either. Shit. Nigga, you running? If it's sports, I might be rocking with you. I don't take this shit so serious. You got these fans that's real diehard. You seen these Knicks people out here, man, they was busting people's head open, and we won. They beating up people. That's crazy.
In California, and negotiates a deal with Joe Lacob and Steve Kerr.
See, that sound more like it. Miami, you smell me? Because like I said, LeBron obviously liked to party. He liked to be outside. He liked that scene. He ain't fucking with none of these raggedy ass towns and cities. I'm sorry. He likes some fly shit.
Those boys where, you know what, he's home on all the off days, or he can fly home after it's only a 45-minute flight now. I mean, that's about how long it takes him to get from Crypto.com Arena back to his crib.
But you're right, though. That's a good point. Nigga got private jets. He he moving and grooving wherever the hell he want. The world is, real small to a nigga like that. Earth is just turf.
With LA traffic. I mean, he pulled this off. Ladies and gentlemen, LeBron James joined Steph Curry. God help him if they keep Draymond Green and get Anthony Davis too. Lord have mercy. It's can't miss television. It's can't miss. It's box office. And LeBron and Steph to play together.
What y'all think? If LeBron, if he do go to Golden State, y'all think he got a shot, man? Y'all think they got a shot, Golden State? Ain't nobody even worried about none of them teams.
Just don't know what to say.
Because with New York, we seen magic this year, so we ain't tripping on how good nobody is. We see if you ain't got the magic, it ain't happening.
I just don't know what to say.
So we ain't tripping on how good nobody is. We see if you ain't got the magic, it ain't happening.
I just don't know what to say. 888 Mad Dog 6, 888-623-3646. You're listening live to the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. It's a big day. I don't know how big of a day it is for the Los Angeles Lakers. I can tell you that. I don't know. I really, really don't know.
But homie said, nah, they ain't going to have a shot even if he do go there. Steph Curry and LeBron? You serious? Steph Curry and LeBron? I don't know.
But we shall find out. That's the deal.
But he did. I believe him, and I think he know because he on the inside. He knows some shit. He know they start violating LeBron. He an old nigga. They don't respect old niggas, man. They don't. LeBron's still a good player, but some things went down over there. He ain't like they was talking to him crazy. They did something crazy. Things changed. He ain't that top nigga no more or something, and he wasn't smelling it. He wasn't feeling it, so he pushed off. And hopefully one day we find out what happened in this little documentary or whatever when he retired. He gonna talk about some old white boy that told him something crazy and made him mad or something. Oh, they changed my locker to this. Now all of a sudden I'm coming in there, I'm getting treated like this. When I was like this, now they treat me. So you see how we do, they're gonna be explaining. It's gonna be crazy, emotional music, all that. And then he's gonna get into why. No, I don't stop. Him and Drake.
Los Angeles right now. Look, Luka's a bad brother. Bad isn't good. He is special. Offensively. He has nothing to write home about defensively.
He need a squad though. And them New York boys, they all both. I feel like they offense and defense, the way they was playing, they going like animals out this bitch.
Neither is Austin Reeves. And the combination of those two being the cornerstones of the franchise. Ladies and gentlemen, I got news for you. They're not scaring anybody. Right now, if I had to look at the Lakers as presently constructed, they're a playoff team as an 8th seed.
LeBron left automatically like that. They get shot down to the lowest of the totem pole. Wowzer.
You ain't coming for OKC or San Antonio or Houston or Denver or Minnesota. You're not coming before any of those teams. You're not coming before any of those teams.
Hey, if he do go to Cleveland, I wouldn't be mad at him either, tell you the truth. But I just feel like he's not going to go there. But he might even have a chance. Like, I just feel like he's not going back there, though. That's all.
And then when you take into account some other teams in the West, the Phoenix Suns of the world, I'm not going to ignore them. Utah's on the come up. Darren Peterson is believed to be somebody that's going to be special. We'll see. We shall see. There's a host of teams to look at. All right. Cooper Flagg still in Dallas. They got a new coach. He just drafted that kid Johnson out of Michigan.
So the word is now he left Lakers. That's all we know. We don't know where he at. Am I right? Damn, we don't know where he going. We don't even know if he actually retiring or not. Maybe I'm wrong or whatever, but let me know.
Kyrie coming back. Clay and PJ still there unless they get traded to LA Clippers for Kawhi, who, by the way, probably wants to go back to Toronto, and if he's not going to stay with the Clippers. There's a lot of things to think about out west. You the Los Angeles Lakers, where you looking at them as? Where you looking at them as? Inquiring minds want to know. But I'm going to tell you this about LeBron James. And I'm going to say this plain as day. You can't frown upon him departing from LA. You're a superstar in this league, getting paid $50 million. Luka comes in. They immediately hand him the franchise, which is no crime there. He feels dismissed. And
if it's just because of that, then you was acting like a BI. I ain't going to lie. But if somebody violated, they talking to you crazy and they not respecting the OG status that's going on, then you got the right to leave. But if you just start feeling the way because the young boy came in there and stunting and shining like you was when you was young, and instead of mentoring him and coming up with him, you want to get mad and leave. If that's the case, then use a easy. That's the same situation like, never mind, I ain't even going to get into that. But yeah, if that's the case, use a easy. But I don't know if that's the case. I think they was violating the OG, man. They was talking to him crazy, man. It's got to be.
Disrespected to some degree. Then you ask him to be a third option, deferring to Austin Reeves. And then after you do all of that, you're talking about him taking anywhere from a $30 to a $40 million pay cut. I mean, listen, we can't just look at somebody and say, oh, they're a mercenary and they're just going to the highest bid. That's not what this is. That's not what this is. Y'all got to remember, the Chicago Bulls underpaid Jordan for years. And then the last 2 years of his career in Chicago, he got 30 and 33 million respectively. And when that happened, you even had
Jordan, he kept it humble. He knew, I think Jordan was more business minded. He knew if he wasn't worth it, he wasn't going to get it. So, but like I said, we don't know why LeBron left over there, but he got every right to it because he could do what the fuck he wanted. He a grown man, he a rich ass grown man. But if you left because a young nigga was shining too much, then like I said,
had people around the league like Pat Riley and others saying that, you know what, it should be entertained, that every team should chip in to pay Michael Jordan, and that cap constraints shouldn't apply to him because he's meant so much to the financial backbone of the league. Everybody should play a role in paying Michael Jordan because he helped get everybody paid. Now, did LeBron do that? No.
Okay, we're going to hear what LeBron did, but that's a good point. I never thought of with Jordan. Jordan stood up for that bread. Okay, beautiful.
And that cap constraints shouldn't apply to him because he's meant so much to the financial backbone of the league. Everybody should play a role in paying Michael Jordan because he helped get everybody paid. Now, did LeBron do that? No.
Okay, we're going to hear what LeBron did, but that's a good point. I never thought of with Jordan. Jordan stood up for that bread. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. But LeBron is a legend, especially to the Lakers franchise. He should be treated respectfully. And, maybe he ain't win no wing with Lakers yet, did he? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Let's keep it pushing. But they already know he's a legend for the points he put up every game or whatever else. So,
but he's done an awful lot for the league. He's done an awful lot for the league. He's been a basketball ambassador for the league. This is what he's pulled off. Respect that man.
Yeah, I think homie right though. That's the move he gonna make. I would guess. We'll see though.
Respect that man.
He might be going to Miami. Going to Miami. No, you got a couple of them out there. Thick, bad ones.
I look at the Los Angeles Lakers right now. Don't tell me they're going to be better without him. That's a damn lie. Lakers in trouble. This is not a loss I believe they could have afforded to have. Not that you were going to go but so far with the same team you departed from this season, but I don't believe you're better without LeBron James.
Nobody believes that. All right, get past that point. Nobody believe that.
I do not believe that. I don't believe that at all.
Who the fuck would believe that? Stupid.
And I think the Lakers are going to find that out. So now the interesting part is this. Where's LeBron going to go? Is it going to be back to Cleveland? Is it going to be back to Miami?
I'm going to go with the homie, Mad Judah. I'm going to say Miami. I ain't going to lie. I think he's going to Miami, man.
Is it going to be the Golden State? Ladies and gentlemen, if that man goes to the Golden State Warriors, I don't think you'll realize what that's going to mean. 888 Mad Dog 6 is 888-623-3646. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I'd want to see him on national TV every week. LeBron with Steph.
But if LeBron really about that winning, he going to make that sacrifice and pull up wherever he got to pull up and do what he got to do for that thing. You know what I mean? So who knows if he really obsessed with, getting that thing, because he seen what happened out here in New York. He probably, that put some fire on them too. He probably left. We don't know why he left. He probably left because he's strategizing some other way to get the ring because he realized he ain't getting it over there. Who knows? We just speculating. He could have been either disrespected, it could have been some money thing, or it could have been his smart ass strategizing and going to get that ring. Who knows? But or making his way to, I don't know. I ain't gonna say that either. Let me shut up.
With the Golden State Warriors having two playmakers with LeBron and Draymond, because let me tell you something right now. Draymond can't really shoot. He can do everything else. And there is no better setup artist for Steph Curry than Draymond Green. That brother knows how to get people to basketball. His playmaking ability is vastly underappreciated. I know we know it exists, but we don't appreciate Draymond Green's playmaking ability like we should. The big moments, the big plays, it's what he lives for.
Oh, yeah. He one of them ones that's going to get it to you and get that turnover, and now you got to be ready because I'll be seeing him. He be moving. He going to make a play for you real quick.
And you got to give respect where respect is due in that regard. And if they get Anthony Davis and Draymond Green gets help defending some of the bigger boys, well, you got the core that you need.
I just feel like the homie said, he said them younger Wolves, them young dudes this year, they gonna be something else because they seen what happened in New York. They see what's going on with the Spurs. With the Spurs and all that. These young boys just stepping up and they stepping out, and they don't get, you know what I mean? Ain't no more of that mentality of rookie, because I know why these young boys are stepping out like that. Because back in the day, you heard the stories, Charles Oakley and these niggas bullying them kids and beating them up and treating them, messing up their whole self-esteem. How you expect them to get out there and play? You feel me? But nowadays you ain't doing that. The YNs ain't having it. They ain't going. And so now you're gonna see the YNs acting out. And I think this championship and these young boys, man, they motivated them other dudes. They sitting there watching like, fuck that, I'm about to stunt too. It's time to stunt, step out. So I think we're gonna see a lot more from the rookies and the younger cats too. That's just my guess. Man,
you just need role players after that. With Steve Kerr's coaching acumen, oh my Lord, boy, I mean, I hope all of this is so LeBron James can go to Golden State. I'm not gonna lie. LeBron with Steph, Lord have mercy. I mean, when we talk about LeBron being happier, listen.
He's advocating for that though. I think he's just wishful thinking. Is Golden State his team? Can a sportscaster have a team? I don't know.
Going home to Cleveland, that'll make him happy because he's beloved. All right? He passes gas, they'll call it perfume. He can do no wrong there. I get that part. But from a basketball standpoint, to go to Golden State with Steph Curry, how could it be more enjoyable than that?
This is getting too close to sound like some payola shit to me. I ain't gonna hold you. He advocating for that. It sounds like he talking to LeBron. Hold up. I got somebody talking about, oh, I know what's going on and why LeBron left. He's some dude, probably famous, I don't know. But he was speaking, and I wanted to hear what he had to say, man. He said he know what, oh yeah, Rich Paul. Hold up.
Going back to the Lakers, can you take us behind the curtain here? How did this happen?
Well, them white boys dramatic as hell. They know how to talk. As I tell Brat, you gotta get on. Look at how they dramatic. You hear? Yeah. Boy telling a story and he ain't even telling it. He asking the question. But yeah, he said, we'll see what he say, or this might be clickbait. I don't know. You know, I don't watch nothing. There's live reactions.
Happen.
Well, Max, I think, when LeBron's up for these type of decisions, we normally sit down and we talk about best fit. Obviously, he's always been a max player, so that's always been the team had to have max cap space, so on and so. And we haven't been here much, right? But for this particular time, Max, it was a lot different. And I asked him, I said, listen, this is going into year 24. You don't owe anybody anything, right?
This must be his manager or business partner or some shit like that.
You've accomplished more than any player has ever accomplished.
Young, rich ass nigga.
You got every record, all the stuff. Let's find one foundational thing to build off of. And if I asked you that, what would it be? I don't need to answer now, but let's just try to find that. And so he said, okay, fine. Took a day or so, and he called me back. And he said, okay, man, you know what? I just want to have complete happiness. And I said, great, let's start there. And then we talked about, what does that actually mean? Because, it could go either way. Happiness is, it's not like you're getting a box of chocolates on Valentine's.
That ring is happiness to him.
Day, like, what do you describe it as such? And so as we're going through it, we got to a place where happiness. Okay, so if it's about happiness, then it can't be about money. If it's about happiness, because if it's the most money, then it's not necessarily the most happiness, etc.
Exactly.
So we kind of got there, and so where we landed was, this is not about money. Obviously, I don't want to play for $1, but at the same time, I'm not basing this on the premise of finance.
Usually you hear somebody in his position talk for a black athlete, it usually be a white guy. I'm not racist, but it's the facts. So I respect that, you feel me? And this dude is obviously a young, smart, young dude and rich as hell.
And this will be based on whatever I choose to do, when I choose to do it, how I want to do it. I said, okay, great. And I said, okay, so where are you right now? Give me understanding of where you at. And he's like, well, here's where I'm at. Here's where I am. I said, well, where are you at in terms of returning right here, where we at? And he said, 80%.
So 80% he's going to return to the Lakers when you had this first conversation. How long ago was this?
First conversation. This was weeks ago. I mean,
So several weeks ago, he's 80% likely to return.
Several weeks ago. Yeah. And then as the time went on, he thought about things more. It kind of went down and down and down,
so
50%.
I want to know the details of why, but he ain't going to get into that because, he a smart, rich nigga, but damn.
Game, he's like, now I'm down to 60% or whatever it is, returning to the Lakers or whatever that percentage.
Yeah. And once he got to a place to where he said, listen, man, I understand where things are and I get it. I know that's where I could probably make the most money. But, for me, where I'm at today, it's probably not the best thing for me to do. I probably would just go away from that. And I said, are you 100% sure? And he said, yes, I'm 100% sure that that's not a place I would want to return.
So in the meantime,
And
you're calling him. I'm 80% likely to go. A couple days later, you're checking in. The percentage has gone down, in other words, and every call, the percentage keeps going down until he's like, I'm 100% out.
Yeah. And I double and triple check, like, are you sure? So on and so forth. And
what
and
changed?
He said, yeah.
It doesn't
He said,
seem like, so if he's 80% likely to, so how is his happiness affected? He's already aware of all the circumstances.
I don't know.
Of course, you wouldn't understand.
I don't know, Max. That's a good question. And I didn't, when these type of things take place, I didn't want to dive in it too much.
Let him do what he wants.
And when you talk about the happiness of it all versus the team, that can get a little convoluted there. So I didn't want to. I'm just like, okay, I just want to know.
Because the problem is, it ain't for you to understand. How does his happiness get affected? You're not in his shoes. You can't live his life. Why you want to understand how it get affected? He's just telling you it get affected, and this is things to do to change it. But y'all, that's why you see homie Wise, though. He know how to speak about it. How does his happiness? What, nigga, don't worry about how nobody could explain that.
If I have to set the table, and this is one of the teams that's out, that are actually in, and then now they're out, well, there's two parts that come to this. I also have to place the call because that team has to have an understanding of it, and they have to go on and do their business as well. So the one thing we definitely wanted to do was be conscious of that and be respectful to the organization.
So
in
you
that
called
manner
Pelinka?
Yeah. So Rob and I, and Rob and I, we talked. The first day that they can talk to their own player, I talked to him and JJ. We talked, and we've had cordial conversations throughout. And I know there were stuff. There were public talks about us supposed to be meeting and things like that, and we were trying to figure out what that looks like and get things aligned. And it just got to a place to where Brian was like, there doesn't really need to be a meeting.
Did they make an offer? Did the Lakers extend an offer?
There didn't need to be one. There wasn't a place to where we needed. They wanted to bring them back, obviously, but
it wasn't about money, man.
But there didn't need to be one, and I didn't want to waste anyone's time.
It wasn't about money. That's what that means. They probably offered him the bag. Obviously, they had to offer him the bag because the points he put up still, he was a big asset to the squad. For some reason, he bounced. But anyway, salute to him. Whatever he do, wish him success. And as he move and groove, all that little personal beef with Drake and all the little weird stuff, it get funny. But salute to that man. That's a cold fact. Hold on, should I watch a little of this? Nah, we're going to keep it pushing. Next topic.